very powerful charge coming from the altar of safety. Thank you very much, sir. We always look forward to your charges for the month, and it keeps us running throughout the month. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
I'll continue with the goodwill messages. And I was so sure I saw Madam Comfort Itok. Okay, Madam Comfort Itok, you have the floor, ma, for your goodwill message. She's one of our distinguished fellows. You have the floor, ma.
Good evening, Mary Jane. I want to say a big congratulations to our president and the regional administrator for a job well done, that every month we meet together like this to share knowledge and to remind ourselves that safety is everyone's business. I want to thank him for the charge he has given to us, that we have to be ambassadors in our little corner concerning safety. I wish everyone a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Okay, I think at this point, I want to call on the Chairman Advisory Council Committee, Dr. Chris Mitchell. Doctor, you have the floor, sir, for your goodwill message. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary Jane. Good evening, professional colleagues. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to see every one of us here again. This monthly meeting, like we have all said, is actually making impact in our lives, in our little corner, in our various communities, reminding us on the need for safety. I hope we have a very fruitful and happy deliberations tonight. Also, we have entered the Ember month. This is time whereby I want to advocate for personal security. Be sure that you don't just click any phishing or missing link on your phones. These boys are hungry this period. You will see all manner of emails, your mobile phones and all that. Let's be careful the kind of links we click. Let's be careful with our financial activities. Let's be careful with where we share our phones with people, colleagues, family members. Let's be careful people we relate with in the public vehicles, and all that. And I hope that all we'll learn here today and beyond will see us through this period. Thank you all for coming, and have a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you for that wonderful speech. Thank you, sir. I want to call on, there are so many persons I'm actually looking for today that I've not found out. I'll see them. I want to call on Engineer Suleiman Umar. If you're here, sir, please just give us a brief goodwill message, sir. Thank you. Engineer Suleiman Umar.
Hello, good evening. Mary Jane, thank you so much. I appreciate all of us. And this monthly meeting is a feedback for us, and it's also a reminder as always that we have a responsibility as safety people, that we meet and we remind ourselves. Especially the topic that's been selected for today is a very interesting topic. I've been to so many places and I noticed this inclusiveness is not there, and people have resentments in that. But I also want to chip an advice with this period that we say we have entered empowerment. People have already started driving crazily along the road. So I advise us to drive defensively, and then also advise other people to drive defensively, please. Let us be careful, assuming that every other person will do the wrong thing. And then when we advise people, we try to correct them. If they're angry, we should be patient, because Nigerians are naturally angry at being corrected. Everybody wants to believe that he's the only person that is correct. So as safety professionals, we should be patient with people, and then because our own is work of humanity. So I appreciate our coming, and I welcome everybody, and our President, Chairman, I greet everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, as you join the meeting, kindly mute your mics, please. You're only allowed to speak if you're called, or if you raise your hand and you're also asked to speak. Please kindly mute your mics. I want to call on one of our distinguished fellows from Lagos State Chapter, Dr. Olabisi Dennis. You have the floor, ma'am. Dr. Olabisi Dennis, You have the floor, ma'am.
Good evening, distinguished members of OSHA. It's my pleasure being with you today. Well, I thank the association for the privilege given to me to make such a speech here today. I would like to appreciate our leaders for the good work you've been doing and all the members everywhere. I'm learning from all of you gathered here today, and I know that through your efforts, we will not fail. And then in our own corner here, we'll be doing the work we can do to make safety a priority for everyone in the society. Thank you very much for the privilege.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. I want to call on Mr. Abayomi Kolade. Mr. Abayomi Kolade, one of our distinguished members. If you're here, Mr. Abayomi Kolade, you have the floor, sir, for your goodwill message. Mr. Abayomi Kolade, can you hear us, sir? Mr. Kolade, can you hear us, sir? Okay, while we wait for Mr. Kolade, do we have Engineer Mohammed Alamin Hassan? If you are here, sir, please just give us a brief. Okay, he has not joined. His audio has not connected yet. His audio has not connected yet. I see why we can't hear him. His audio has not connected yet. Okay. Engineer Sylvester Azegbe. Engineer Sylvester, if you're here, please just give us a brief goodwill message, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, distinguished colleagues and members in the OSH profession. I thank God for another opportunity to share knowledge once again this evening. And I pray God will continue to guide us in the mighty name of Jesus. I have been in this profession for about 30 years, and the time I started, it was as if safety will not get to anywhere. But I thank God today, safety getting, the awareness is now very high. And we need to get more, or do more to create more awareness and get more members. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Safety is indeed going somewhere, and OSHA is driving it with serious strength and vigor. Thank you, sir. Do we have Engineer Mayowa, if you're here, just a brief goodwill message from you.
Yeah, good evening, dear colleagues. We are welcome to November monthly meeting. Just as the previous people have spoken, this period is always busy, but we are to be safety conscious. We have to be concerned about our safety and at the same time concerned about the safety of our neighbor. Let us be advocates and journalists of safety while we are on the road, when we are at home, in our place of work, even in our place of worship. Let us be safety advocates. And I pray that today's meeting will end well and will be fruitful. You are welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For my heart, goodwill messages here. We'll definitely continue later in the course of the meeting. At this point, we want to listen to our facilitator for this evening, and she'll be talking to us on inclusive workplace environment. And she's none other than Olufunke Taiwo Akinwumi. She's the Assistant Chief Information Officer in the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Ma, you have the floor. I'll yield the floor to you now to continue. Thank you. Please let us listen attentively and kindly mute your mics, please, so that we can all learn from her. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Olufunke Taiwo Akinwumi. I'll be facilitating this session. So I'll just quickly share my screen with everyone. Just kindly confirm if you can see my screen, please.
Positive, but we can see your screen.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, thank you. So this evening, we'll be talking about inclusive workplace environment. And I know a lot of people will think it's about the disability sector alone. So this involves everyone. So let's just pay attention, we'll listen, and I'll just rush through it. So I'm starting with a quote. And the quote says, building an inclusive workplace culture supports employees and organizations' well-being, because we're in the safety sector. So that's why I put this quote here, so that we'll start with it and understand where we're. So this our table of content. We'll talk about what an inclusive environment is in a workplace and stuff like that. So I'll just run through. What's an inclusive environment in the workplace? In the workplace. So an inclusive workplace environment, also known as an inclusive work environment or workplace, is a setting where all employees are valued, respected, and treated fairly, regardless of their differences or background. It's a place where diversity is not only acknowledged, but also valued and leveraged to create a more productive and harmonious work atmosphere. So regardless of where the person is coming from, the diversity, what you believe in, everyone is included in what is going on. An inclusive workplace welcomes and supports people with all kinds of differences. It does not just include people who are neurodivergent or who have a disability. It ensures equal opportunities for everyone to succeed. Many workplaces devote resources to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, where everyone has a voice. So I've just talked about it more here. So inclusivity in the workplace means that individuals of diverse races, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, ages, abilities, socioeconomic background, and other characteristics are not only welcomed, but actively encouraged to contribute to the success of the organization. So what's the inclusive workplace culture? An inclusive workplace culture is a work environment that prioritizes and values employees of diverse background. So we're all coming from different places, regardless of what you've studied in school, where you belong, your geopolitical zone, your language, everyone is together. It defines and separates itself from any unconscious bias towards team members. As a result, all workers should face no obstacle in contributing to an organization's growth. That's what an inclusive workplace culture should achieve. Some of the benefits: we have enhanced employee engagement. It helps employees to engage more without judgment and ridicule. It increases productivity. A lot of people will come to work, people won't run from offices again when you have this inclusivity there. So we also have improved employee retention. Even when if the workplace now has this inclusion in it, a lot of people, even when they get opportunities to work elsewhere, they'll want to stay where they are valued, where their ideas are appreciated. So you have employee retention. People will not quit their jobs just like that, without any cogent reason. So characteristics of an inclusive workplace. Now that you've known, you have an idea of the benefits of an inclusive workplace. So how do you know when you see one? Have a voice. Employees think they have a voice with the organization when they're allowed to express their concerns without judgment or fear of negative consequences. In some organizations, you have it where they even put those boxes to anonymously say what you don't like or what you think should be improved. Maybe some people have persons watching for them and they just single you out and they want to punish the person. That's not an inclusive workplace environment. You have a voice, nobody is judging you, and there's no fear of consequences. You're able to hear your views out. Feel a sense of belonging. Inclusion gives employees a sense of belonging and a voice. It helps them feel that their skills and abilities are valued. When people do something for you in a workplace that's inclusive, saying thank you goes a long way. Appreciating their effort goes a long way. That's what an inclusive workplace ought to do. Belongingness is when a person can be their authentic self at work. You're not pretending. You're yourself. You're not pretending at all, because you know that you belong to an environment that accepts you for who you are. Feel valued. People need to be recognized for the contributions they bring to the table. More than productivity, organizations with a diverse workforce need to recognize the unique value of every individual. So I'm just running through it so that I don't read all. So have access to learning and development opportunities. One way employers can show they care about their staff is by providing learning and development opportunities. Training is aimed at providing professional development. Learning and development programs should be accessible to all employees. Again, emphasis, regardless of age, sex, position, expertise, it should meet the individual needs of each employee. So this should be tailored to the needs of each staff. So we have support collaboration. An inclusive work environment supports collaboration to maximize each person's unique skills and abilities. Moreover, it breaks down barriers and encourages inclusion on a wider level. Open-mindedness and respect are keys to making collaboration work among team members. Make sure everyone is given the opportunity to be heard, and everyone should be given credit for their contribution and ideas. This goes a long way. It's very, very key. So having access to resources, for their own moral support from supervisors, employee resource groups, or diversity and affinity groups. We have groups that different people belong to in the organization because of shared values. So these are some of the things that should be encouraged in an inclusive work environment. So what are the goals of an inclusive work environment? The general goal now is the general goal of an inclusive, can you please mute yourself? I don't know who is talking. So the general goal of an inclusive work environment is to create a workplace where all employees feel respected. They are big on respect, valued, and have an equal opportunity to thrive. Such an environment fosters diversity, equity, and collaboration. So other key goals in an inclusive work environment are diversity and representation. We have equal opportunities. We have equal opportunities, respect and inclusivity, productivity and performance. We have employee well-being, non-discrimination. So I'm going to delve on this. Anti-discrimination and anti-harassment policies to eliminate discrimination, harassment, and biases in all forms, ensuring that all employees are protected from unfair treatment based on their personal characteristics. Organizations should have clear policies in place to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. These policies must be enforced consistently, and employees should know how to report any violation. So I think most organizations don't do this here, but this is something that should be written legibly. Abroad, you even find out that even in their restrooms, they have some of these things at the back of the door. When you use the restrooms, you see it is placed there just to re-echo it into our consciousness that this thing exists. You mustn't do this. You must value everyone and respect people. High employee engagement. To boost employee engagement by making all employees feel connected to their work, colleagues, and the organization's mission. Innovation and creativity. To leverage the diverse perspective and experiences of employees to foster creativity and innovation within the organization. Leadership development. Promote leadership development from within the organization by providing opportunities for employees from diverse backgrounds. So we also have talent attraction and retention, reputation and brand image. So this one in particular, to enhance the organization's reputation and brand image by being known as an inclusive and socially responsible employee. If you are known for this, if your organization is known for this, the organization stands out among other organizations. Then community engagement. having social responsibility, supporting social causes in the environment where the organization is located. We have legal compliance, employee resource groups, market reach and customer satisfaction. Then how do you create an inclusive workplace culture? An excellent way of creating an inclusive workplace culture is having an atmosphere where workers feel comfortable sharing their viewpoints and thoughts on issues. Organizations can encourage workers to share their opinions by creating a safe space. The emphasis is on a safe space that allows employees to express their curiosity without judgment. To create and maintain an inclusive workplace environment that functions properly, you can consider implementing the underlisted, utilizing the underlisted resources and implementing the policies and practices here. So for an individual to promote inclusiveness in workplace, what should an individual do? Understand yourself, understand others, communicate. And when I mean communicate, I mean communicating strategically and effectively, and reinforce change where necessary as an individual. As an organization, use of inclusive language. If you don't understand something, ask your coworkers their preferred languages. Don't do things based on stereotype or information you've heard about them. Be aware of how words and phrases will be interpreted. Avoid discriminatory and offensive terms and expressions, and use terms such as persons with disability, not disabled people, not persons living with disability. You can use parental leave instead of maternity and paternity leave. So you have to be big on your words, the words you actually use, because you don't know how people will react to it. So you create a safe space for your employees, encourage good leadership. Leaders and managers play a crucial role in creating an inclusive environment. They should lead by example. So we have adaptive leadership, like you are actually doing what you want others to do, so they mirror after you. That's what it means to encourage good leadership. Creating an inclusive workplace requires the input of stakeholders, starting with senior management. You can encourage company leaders to portray a good example in practicing and adhering to inclusive organizational values. In turn, junior workers will walk into the steps of the leaders and demonstrate inclusive behavior across the organization. So you create a safe space. In creating safe space, creating accessible toilet, bathrooms, parking spots. Yeah, I'm so big on this for persons with disability because most organizations don't have it. You're supposed to have like a parking spot for them, reserve parking spots, then they will draw the disability thing using a sky blue paint to paint it. And no one is allowed to park there, only persons with disability. So you should build ramps and tactile indicators for those that are blind, and we'll modify work areas to include special equipment and wheelchair, and also enable digital accessibility just to make the place inclusive for them. So be open to employees' feedback, set up clear inclusion policies and guidelines. I'm just going to run through this one. When we can read through the documents. Provide diversity training for everyone. I'm big on diversity training because we should be doing courses on diversity, cultural intelligence, inclusion. This helps us to actually learn how to understand people of diverse culture and how to actually accept them. So it will actually work for us in most organizations. So this is a very big one also. So create a diversity training group to help maintain these changes. If we have changes recorded, we should have like a training group, little groups that would still continue to re-echo this thing in our consciousness. Then integrate inclusivity in your core values, in the core values of the organizations. So we also have diversity and inclusion policy, have a non-discriminatory policy, nurture an empathetic workplace culture. This is also very good. Putting the feelings of others, putting yourself in the shoes of others. When people feel down, when they're emotionally down, how do you put yourself in their place for you to be able to actually react and support them emotionally and being empathetic? So we have regular research to understand your team needs, It's very necessary to organize regular research, monitor conversations in workplace, flagging any language that is unacceptable, invest in employee resource group, employee handbook should be given to all employees when they resume work so that they know the do's and don'ts and what to do and what not to do. Then implement inclusion standards, employee resource group, build mentorship programs to foster cross-cultural engagement. This will also help go a long way. Examples of inclusive behaviors in workplace: respect and appreciate all team members' background and cultural values. There's a detailed explanation in the document. Organize team building activities. I know some private organizations do this, but in the public sector, a lot of organizations don't do this. But when we organize team building activities, it also helps us to promote a safe space and open environment to allow conversations, courageous conversations among employees, and discuss issues important to organizations. Prioritize participation of all employees in organization celebration. You have end of year dinner, you have award nights, regardless of whoever the employee is, let everyone participate. Take into cognizance their dietary restrictions. They will feel loved and cared for. So I also going to foster a culture of authentic greeting. In some organizations where people don't even greet, if they don't even say hello to themselves and they're even in the same office, encouraging all workers to start the day with a genuine smile. Greeting is one of the greatest and simplest way to inspire workplace inclusion. You could foster a culture of authentic greeting through simple acknowledgement like hello or good morning. Even a friendly, cultural, appropriate signal in the hallway goes a long way in opening doors for further interaction. Authentic greetings will create a sense of recognition and help build rapport among team members. Equal access to resources. It should not be like a segmented few going for having access to the resources or going for specific trainings and all. Regardless, persons with disability, everyone should be included in this training. Be open to different viewpoints from team members. You may get the bad ones, the good ones, but be open to the viewpoint of others. So we also have open and honest conversation about unconscious bias. We've talked about the affinity thing and stuff like that. Listen to all voices during meetings. Don't shut some people down, or you feel we should put the meeting days, the days where people that are very outspoken will not come to meetings. No, even those that shy away, those that are introverted should always also be consulted when you have meetings. Allow everyone to talk, to chip in, to bring in their contributions, because no man is an island of knowledge. Provide safe work environment for all team members. With this one, then I'm going to encourage the use of inclusive language. Yeah, big on language. Then inclusive workplace language will help workers with a history of marginalization feel included. I'll quickly give you an example. When I was out of the country for my master's, so I met some Nigerians. Then we got talking. We were speaking in pidgin, you know. When I got to work the next day, the supervisor called me and she was like, I got those reports, like one of the staff said you guys were talking about her. I was like, we're not talking about anybody, but because we're speaking the Nigerian pidgin English and the person didn't understand, it became a problem. I had to start explaining. So in order to avoid all that, we should use inclusive language that is understood by everybody so that we are not misunderstood. Show support for all team members. When a team member is celebrating weddings, naming ceremonies, childbirth, let's celebrate the person. So creating an inclusive workplace environment for persons with disability. I'm also big on this because I'm also into the disability sector. I have a certificate in disability and I've worked in that sector also. Creating an inclusive workplace environment for persons with disability involves implementing strategies and practices that address their unique needs and ensure equal access to opportunities. Here are some of the things we can actually do. Accessible physical environment, ensure that the workplace is physically accessible with ramps, elevators, wider doors, accessible restroom. You find out that some organizations, when you go, even on the ramp, people park cars where people with disability are supposed to use. Is actually not good. I've talked about the parking space, that ensure that workspace and common areas are designed to accommodate individuals with various disabilities. including those with wheelchair and mobility. I'm rushing because of time. Flexible work arrangements. Some of them can work from home, remote work if they can't come into the office, reasonable accommodation for persons living with disability, education and training. We should conduct disability awareness and inclusion training for all employees to promote understanding and accept disability, to better support those with disability, and not pity for them. They are also like us. So you just have to support them. That's what we'll do. Mentoring and support, anti-discriminatory policies, regular feedback and improvement, legal compliance, ensure compliance with laws and regulations related to disability rights, such as Equality Act of 2010 and discrimination against persons with disability. You can be fined for this and sent to prison for this. So, I'm gradually coming to conclusion. By implementing these strategies and fostering a culture of inclusivity, organizations can ensure that persons with disability are not only part of the workplace, but are empowered to contribute their unique skills and perspective to the organization's success. In conclusion, as workplaces embrace diversity, organizations must investigate ways to enhance inclusion. Organizations could start by actively championing inclusion in the workplace to meet the demands of an increasingly diverse workforce. Also, all team members must show a shift in mindset and behavior. With shift in mindset and behavior, it's excellent for people to work together amicably. Creating an inclusive workplace environment is not only the right thing to do from an ethical standpoint, but also provides concrete benefit for organizations. It can lead to improved employee engagement, increased innovation, better problem solving, and development of a more positive organizational culture, all of which contribute to better business outcomes and long-term success. I would encourage entities to hire, employ workers who exhibit traits such as cultural intelligence, commitment, curiosity, and courage. Inclusive behaviors in the workplace are strategies that entities can use to maximize every worker's potential and maintain a happy workforce. Diversity and inclusion are ever evolving, so be prepared to adjust as needed. You must carefully plan and strategize your diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to make long-term changes. Your diverse employees are the key to making your inclusive culture successful, so getting their feedback and support is critical. Finally, investing in culture initiatives will not only make your organization a good place to work, but also improve your organization's productivity and profit. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you. We're here.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this wonderful lecture. I think personally I've learned a lot today. At this point, we'll take questions and contributions. If you have a question, please raise your electronic hand. I'll call on you to ask. Our facilitator is here to respond to all our questions and concerns. Okay, let's hit it running. Some persons are already raising their hands. Let me just quickly. Okay, I will start from, I think engineer's hand is up. Engineer, I'll start from you, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And also, especially thank you, Madam Taiwo, for that wonderful presentation. In fact, we really have professors in the house. So we really have professors in the house. I will so much appreciate, and I personally have also learned a lot. This is a very practical lecture that really impacts many of us, even in our individual organizations, and also managing our workforce, managing our employees and things of that nature. I think we have really learned a lot from it. Okay, just as a kind of a contribution also, you know, in a country like Nigeria, it's very challenging. It's very, very challenging. Just like what Madam Taiwo said earlier, the doctor said, you know, in a country like Nigeria where there is no rules and order. In fact, I don't really, like currently I'm in the UK now preparing for the Big Five, the London event. I've been here for some days now preparing with the team. And you see how everything works. You see, when you are talking of people with disabilities, in the UK, if you park in the parking lot with people with disabilities, I can assure you, you are paying about £15. Not that you wish to pay, you have to pay or you move to court. They're following less than 24 hours. So you see how things are well organized. You see the ramps. I remember when our regional president came into power 3 years ago, you know, he was able to launch the National Safety Advocacy Project. And we said part of what we have to do is interventions. And part of those interventions is based on the assessment that the institute have taken to find out that even in the federal secretariats, you see disables who cannot access offices because there is no provision for with people with disabilities. There is no kind of amenities. So we now wish to start looking at how do we now help to intervene in that area, which is part of what the association is looking for funding to execute. So there are so much issues. Are you talking of moving on the road? In the developed countries like Nigeria, we have a disabled person from his house. Let me use Lagos, for example. From his house, from Victoria Island, can move his wheelchair from Victoria Island to Lekki Phase 1. Even with bicycle, with whatever, without any help. So you say these are issues. How are we going to achieve it? In fact, it's giving me a headache. How can Nigeria, not even only Nigeria, Africa, how can we achieve that kind of Doctor, do you have any suggestion? Because I have been thinking about it. You know, if Nigeria is like, for example, like an organization, we can say, okay, let's remove everybody, start afresh, so that we can now be putting things into place and be arranging things and know where we are. But we are human beings of over 200 million. Nothing is organized, no system in place, no implementation, no infrastructure. That is one way. Now, coming into organization, second question is coming into a workplace where you have some people who don't have good characters. We are talking of common greeting. In the UK here, you don't need to know anybody to say, how are you? Hope you're okay. Just once they see that, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. You know, that kind of exclusiveness, opening up and all that is there. But in a workplace, you see where somebody will just decide to give you a headache, especially in the public service. And if you do, I was one of our fellows in the Federal Secretariat, I won't mention the department. He said that that fellow needs to go. But the point is that he can't sack him. He can't do anything. If he's in the private sector, he will receive his sack letter or something. But in the public sector, you can't sack the person. And the person have decided to give you a headache for the next 10, 15 years or 7 years you are going to be in that office. How do you handle that kind of situation? These are my 2 areas and my little contribution. Thank you so much.
Okay, our facilitator, are you reacting now, or we should take all the questions at once? Would you want to react to what engineers asked?
Yeah, let me react. Like,
please go ahead.
Hopefully someday Nigeria will get to that level. But Engineer Walaka is requesting how are we going to come in to help? I think with continuous enlightenment, and if the government too can actually pass laws and actually put it into a document, we should have a policy document that runs with these things. People will actually get to the realization that it exists and we need to actually do this. Yes, in places of work, they can be, employees are very annoying, but then you have to make do with them. If you study some of these courses, cultural intelligence, diversity, inclusion, if you go for those soft courses, you'll be able to accommodate them regardless of how terrible they can be. You'll be able to accommodate them and know when to actually respond. And at times you have to just call them and still speak with them. But it will take time. Change takes time. And yes, even in the Federal Secretariat, they actually do it. People come and park on the ramp area. And I've actually discussed with one of the top people there on how to actually create spaces for persons with disability parking lots, and they should be painted in blue colors, and to ensure that people don't park there anyhow, because when these people come, they find it difficult to find a parking space. So they need all the support we can get. So as individuals, if we start putting it into practice, we'll actually influence other people around us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Okay, I think Mr. Emmanuel, your hand is up. You have the floor for your question or contribution, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Madam. I really enjoyed your presentation. A few questions. In a situation where you have an organization that has a particular ethnic group, making up to 80% of the staff, and you are like from another ethnic group, the minority, because this particular, because you talk about diversity, I want you to advise how can you, manage these people, like the safety especially said, minister said, some of these persons keep working against you one way or the other. Some of them directly, some of them go behind you to, undo you in one way or the other. How do you manage that with people? Especially when the owner of that place seems to be in that same ethnic group. Can you create a balance there? The second question I have is, you talk about policy. Can you speak more on that, on the policy, on inclusivity and all that? How can one, come up with such policy and introduce it if there is need for that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Yeah, like you said, if you have 80% of an ethnic group in an organization, 20% minority, how do you actually strive? What I believe is it all boils down to the policy of the organization. If it's an organization that values its staff, then they know that they have to be key on inclusivity. They have to be key on diversity. If you look at that organization very well, they won't be productive the way they ought to be, because you just have a particular section in that place. They can actually get away with whatsoever they want to do, pouring the burden on the minority that is there. So if their own people commit an offense, they can actually go away with it, but the minority will now serve the punishment. There won't be growth there and stuff like that. But that, for me personally, if I'm going to give you an advice, if it's a place that you feel you're not accepted, you're not valued, you can actually exit and go to an organization where inclusiveness is practiced and your skills will be valued, you'll be respected. Because you can say you will survive. How do you want to survive? It will take time. Change may come, but it may take time. If the organization itself does not see the need to actually enact in their policy diversity and inclusion, then it will be very difficult for the minority group to actually thrive. Then in terms of policy, yeah, for organizations that try to review their policies every year, they should be able to bring staffs on board to actually go through these policies and know where they are supposed to come in, where they are having issues and stuff like that. So enlightenment and sensitization of policymakers will actually bring inclusivity. When there's constant enlightenment of policymakers, because they are the ones that make these policies for the nation. So continuous enlightenment, and we get their buy-in, we actually go a long way in making organizations to actually adapt and tap into the policies of government at the center. I don't know if I'm able to contribute.
Very well, ma'am. Very well. You did. Very
yeah,
well.
Very well. Thank you.
Engineer Onwama, you have the floor. Please ask your questions or make your contribution.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead, Engineer Onwama. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Engineer Onwama once again. I want to appreciate Madam Taiwo for her Very good presentation. I truly enjoyed it. However, I have a question I want to ask. If you find yourself being employed in an organization like a public one, and a lot of things you have said here aren't really so obtainable in the public sector. So if you find yourself in that situation, what's the best way to be able to point this out without being victimized or perhaps by your boss or maybe a higher boss now? Because oftentimes this is the situation, and employees that find themselves faced with this and do not really have the courage to be able to speak, or they don't even know the best way possible to do this. For instance, in the work environment, some lack a lot of all that you have mentioned, most especially the government ones. Also, you find this even playing out where employees rights, or if I wouldn't put it like that, say things like for instance stuffs like where an employee does not get what is due to him or her in terms of maybe less remuneration or things, some other ways of encouraging employee to really do their jobs well. If they are lacking, and you tend to try to point this out in the way that you think, yes, you're humble enough to do that, and somebody is now like, if you come up with this kind of request again, we will make sure that you end a query and stuff like that. So when you have challenges like this, you tend to speak less, point out less, because you feel rather than your opinion being valued, it's sort of bringing a problem to you or trying to burn your finger, you tend to withdraw. So in a situation like that, what's the best, from your own end, what's your best advice for employees like this? Thank you.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you very
hold
much.
on, madam. Sorry, ma. I want to interject here. I'm so sorry. I don't know how we'll work with this. I don't know if we can take all the questions, them and respond to them at the same time, because this process of asking and responding, it's like it's taking time, so that I'll give everyone the leverage to ask their questions. Is that okay by you, ma'am?
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. That's beautiful. Abayomi, please, you have the floor to ask your question now, sir. And please, in 1 minute, let's keep the questions short so that we can get precise responses. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Mine is not question, it's just a contribution to this wonderful presentation by Mrs. Akinwumi. I really, really appreciated it. And I'm imagining that the possibility of presenting this kind of information to the National Assembly and the impact, the positive impact it will have on the nation, because it's an in-depth information. Madam, thank you so much. My contribution is on number one. We are talking about inclusiveness in workplace for disabled individuals, which is very important. Madam has gone so deep in that research. But then the issue is this, like Engineer Walaka has mentioned, we know the challenges we have in this country and the Africa as a continent where it's like nothing works. But then my own contribution is, as an association, a professional body, we should not rest. We need to continue to talk about it. We need to continue to be in the middle, we need to continue to engage the stakeholders so that we can impact them positively. For instance, I remember that before the election, there was a discussion in one of our monthly meetings when we talk about emergency preparedness, and we knew what this association did to influence the government to have a budget for emergency preparedness before the election. Unfortunately, could we remember a few months ago, a few weeks, what happened when a ministerial nominee slumped at the National Assembly? So what the point I'm making, let us keep on keeping records of this information and let us keep on pushing. Let's engage the stakeholders. The disabled ones, not only that, what about those who are not even employed at all? I have information. I have some children who are close to me. They are orphans now. They are disabled, on wheelchair. They are graduates of about 5 years now. They are not employed. They are not engaged, not even to include them in workplace at all. What's the government doing about it? These are the issues we need to raise. So I believe there are a lot we can do as an association. We shouldn't rest. We should continue to push. And secondly, we talk about culture, which Ms. Akiwi also mentioned. Unfortunately, I think the problem is, unfortunately, we abandoned our culture, because in Africa, regardless of where you come from, greeting is part of our culture. But because you want to imbibe foreign culture, most of our people who feel they are enlightened, they are educated, they get into workplaces and they have a lot of ego. All these things should be eradicated, and it needs continuous sensitization and awareness for us to move ahead. Thank you very much. I appreciate this discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Ibrahim, you have the floor. 1 minute, ask your question or make your contribution. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Ibrahim Muhammad Tawhid, and I so much appreciate the presenter. She has spoken well. And to quickly ask my question, I want to, first of all, point on that. Hello?
Kindly go ahead, please.
Okay.
Please go ahead. I hear you, sir.
All right. I want to talk mostly about the PWDs because whenever I lecture too, I give lecture in most organizations here in Abuja, and I have been telling them that they should give much priority to people living with disabilities by bringing them to a down floor. If their office is located up floor or up about 2, 3, 4 stories, they should bring them, especially where there are no provisions as ramp for them. So in this case now, going by this lecture, I want to ask whether we are still in line with the new trend of suggestion for people living with disabilities, whether we should continue to tell the people to still relocate them, especially if they are located upstairs, downstairs, so that they will be less stressed. That is number one. Number two is the culture of greeting. Like the engineer Walaka said, that we don't bother greet in UK. We just tell you, are you fine? And you're fine. No, there is that is embedded in our culture here. There is no how we can do, wave that away. So by the time we want to imbibe in that other culture, people might think you are being arrogant, you are being, cultureless. So in that case, we don't want to create another problem while trying to solve one problem. So I want you to buttress on this point and let us know whether we are in line. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am, at this point, I think you will just respond to the questions and we'll suspend other questions for now because we have a lot to talk about and we have not started discussing yet. So respond to the questions that have been asked. Others can drop their questions on the chat box and you can type responses for them later. I hope that's okay. Let's just run. Thank you, ma'am.
That's fine. So I'll quickly respond to the question of the madam that asked questions initially, facing difficulties in workplace. I think it's important that every employee familiarizes his or herself with the terms and conditions of their employment. In the public service, there is public service rules that can be cited when raising issues of concerns about employees. So if you have any reason to raise a reason, you have a document to back it up. When you cite the public service rule and it's there, so nobody is going to victimize you for that. That I believe, because that's the document that is actually backing our engagement. Then for TPL Ibrahim, yeah, it's a good thing that you're advocating for persons with disability to be relocated to a more accessible floor. You are on the right track. That's what I'm saying, that individually in our various organizations, however we find ourselves, we should stand as an agent of change. So if you do that, you influence others to do the right thing. In no time, they will know that it's actually the right thing to do. And hopefully, the association can have an engagement with members of the National Assembly. We could pay them a courtesy visit and let them know this is what we are doing. These are the things that ought to be in public space. So if we do that and actually get their buy-in, it will actually go a long way. Most of the times, we should do conscious advocacy and sensitization. A lot of people are not aware. Continuous advocacy and sensitization. So if you feel like you've told, it's just like we have children, when we tell them, don't do this, tomorrow they go there and do same thing. And it's more or less like, I've been telling you not to do it. So we keep re-echoing it until it sticks in their consciousness that this is the right thing to actually do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. We've learned a lot from you today. I think I'll just add by saying that it's key we include cultural and diversity trainings to our trainings in our offices, in our workplaces, wherever we are. We need to include it because that's one aspect we don't look at. So when it comes to concerns of safety and security, inclusivity is key. Everybody has to have that sense of inclusivity so that we can get the best from people. And those of us that are also involved in emergency response, it is very essential we understand the need for culture and diversity training so that we can handle people very well when it comes to going for emergency and disaster management concerns. Thank you very much, ma'am. We've learned a lot from you today, and it has been a very wonderful deliberation. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. I want to call on our regional administrator. I want to call on our regional president, sorry. He has been here from the beginning of this class, this lecture till now. It's a privilege to always have him here with us every month. None other than His Royal Highness, Dr. Ambassador Olusegun Aderemi. President, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Our Lady. I appreciate you.
Sorry, I'm not Aderemi, Adefemi, Oluwafemi, Adefemi Babs. Thank you. It's very interesting.
Hello.
Sorry about that, President. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I want to use the opportunity to say a very big thank you to all our members here and the distinguished fellows that are here. And also special thanks to our facilitator for this exclusive and precise presentation. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And I am also impressed with the mode of this particular meeting today. I think we should continue in this model. Now, I want to give a quick response to that of Dr. Engineer Walaka on the question of what can we do? How can we help the system in terms of inclusiveness of the less privileged, like those with disability? I think the best approach to this is for us as an association to recommend strongly to the present government on city designing. Our city designing is very poor, archaic, and obsolete. I give an instance. I was in Singapore. I went for my master's in Singapore University. That is Nanyang Technical University. And one of our company visit was to Jurong and Savannah. Jurong and Savannah are government organizations. They deal in city designing. And after much there, I asked a question. Have they really worked in Nigeria, in Africa? They said yes. How about Nigeria? They said yes. Where? They mentioned Lagos during the time of this last Minister of Roads, Babatunde Fashola, when he was the governor of Lagos State. He actually went to them and employed them to design Lagos during his tenure. They gave him options of 25 years, 15 years, and 5 years. And he opted for the least, which is 5 years. They came and they did that design for Lagos. Since then, he never went back to them for a renewal after telling him that these 5 years that you have chosen, you need to come every five years for a renewal. Of course, city will grow on a daily basis. People will build more houses. People will give birth to new children. People will move in from rural areas to the urban cities. That 5 years was the only design that was done, and that's why a lot of issues are happening in Lagos up to date. It's just a way of patch, until they go back to that place to go and get another design. Now, let's talk about Abuja, where we have our administrative office. The roads are very good, but a danger spot, a death trap. You see, most of the drivers are drivers that were formerly Okada riders. They were banned. They don't have any other work, just to turn to driver. And anybody that comes to Abuja, we always employ them as driver. Not only Okada riders that became drivers of vehicle now, but shoemakers that graduated from shoemaking, hawking to Okada riding, from Okada riding to become a vehicle driver. Now, they're on a good road. You see good road, but accidents on those roads are always very fatal. Even the design, you can see it is not the modern one. The modern design these days includes, handicaps. You see so many things, so many exciting things, so many inclusiveness in this modern design. Why can't we do that? So I think the best bet as a safety professionals and a well-known with this our collaboration with the government, we should just advise them and recommend a redesigning of our cities. And that is when it can include this handicap. There are a lot of handicap passage, handicap, so many things, in buildings, in the roads and everything. And that's the latest in the advanced countries now. So that is what we can do. Otherwise, we'll just be talking and it will not lead to anywhere. So, Engineer Walaka, I think by the time you come back from England, we'll sit down together and design our very strong recommendation to the government. Let's do it. Even they don't want to listen, but we still do it. It is very, very important that we, as professionals in this safety business, should do that so that government will know that we're also working. And that's another way of we partnering with the government and letting them know that we're professionals. So thank you on that. And I also want us to quickly go to all other businesses. And I would have loved so much comments and contribution on this our topic for today. But since time will not permit us, I think it would be nice for each and everybody that have not spoken to drop it in the box so that we can look at it critically and work on the suggestions and amendments. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Kabiesi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, a lot of persons have dropped their comments, their questions, and contributions on the chat box. I'm sure the facilitator will look at it and also respond. We can interact there so that everybody will learn from each other on that platform. While that is going on, I want to call on Ms. Rose Daniels for OSH National Secretariat announcement. Rose, you have the floor, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Please go ahead. Yes.
Today's announcement is as follows. One, we bring to you all special greetings from the National Office of the OSHAssociation Nigeria Region. Happy New Month to you all, and remember to work and live safely this month. All members are advised to follow, like, share, and subscribe to all our social media platforms for regular updates and information. Check the comment section for details, as this will be one of the prerequisites for a certificate of participation henceforth. OSH International Safety Conference comes up on 30th November 2023 at Raw Materials Research Center, Maitama, Abuja. Given the upcoming conference, to ensure the continuous promotion of safety in every industry, our members are encouraged to recommend their colleagues and organizations for fellows and members. Interesting bonuses are available for such promotions. Please contact the membership department to guide you further. All the OSH desk officers who recently joined the association are encouraged to always reach out to the National Secretariat of the association for strategic meeting with their various principals at various MDAs to enhance their operation at OSH desk officer and ensure continuous engagement and initiative that will add value to your activities. All members, including corporate members, are encouraged to reach out to the current regional administrator for partnership in any capacity to improve best safety practices, training accreditation of centers in various states, training of employees from various organizations, consultancy on audit and assessment and reporting. Members interested in any of the international events should kindly show interest for further assistance. Kindly contact the regional administrator or visit the International OSH Association website to view the event at www.oshassociation.org/event. The next international event coming up is the Big Five Construction Kenya 2023, especially for those interested in the construction-related industry. Another one is the London Build Expo 2023 in the United Kingdom. Members are encouraged to use the opportunities of this event to build their profile, be exposed to business connections, and learn more internationally. State chapters are also encouraged to leverage the office of the head of civil service of the Federation to ministries and government institutions to reach out to the state government institution and spread safety awareness in all MBAs at the state levels. The 10th International Safety Conference and Award 2023 is here again for the Nigeria region of the association. The conference is scheduled to take place as follows. Date, 30th November 2023. The venue is Conference Hall, Raw Material Research and Development Council, Maitama, and the time is 9 a.m. Okay, I found this. Okay. Sorry. The State OSH Summit 2023 is on top here. The following state chapters are rolling out their state program as follows. The Rivers State Chapter 2023, the Rivers State Chapter Summit 2023. The theme, investing in people for workplace success, sustainable safety and security strategies. Date is 10th November 2023. Venue, La King's Event Center, Stadium, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and the time is 10 a.m. Members are advised to hurry up and participate also from other states. The Lagos State Chapter 2023 workshop and induction of new member is coming up too. The date is 23rd Thursday, November 2023, and the time is 10 a.m. The Abia State Chapter Summit 2023 is also around the corner. And the date is 6th December 2023, time 10 a.m. The venue, General Aguiyi Conference Center, Umuahia. Members are also advised to meet up from outside and around the state for networking and business engagement. Given the forthcoming conference, members are encouraged to recommend their professional colleague to sign up for the membership of the association for the forthcoming international conference in Abuja. They are to take advantage of the 50% promo currently running, which ends on Friday, 10th November 2023. The biggest offer for now, especially our friends and colleagues within the health, safety, security, sustainability, and environment, even from all disciplines, but have certificate proof of safety knowledge, have certificate proof of safety knowledge can also join the induction. All members are advised to meet up from outside and around the state for networking and business engagement. All new members are encouraged to join their various state chapter and relevant working committee groups for regular updates about the association. For further details, please contact our national secretariat. Members are to ensure they register their attendance during the meeting to enable them get their certificate of participation after the meeting. In case you don't get it, kindly contact the membership team and they will address it accordingly. At this point, every member of this great association is a stakeholder and has a role to play to ensure that safety, advocacy, and awareness are spread and promoted at our workplaces and within our network. Let them know the great works and role the OSHAssociation is playing in Nigeria and direct them to join the movement and contribute their quota in making our country a safer nation. You can also connect them to state chapter, or you can connect them to the national contact and team members of the association. Remember, safety is a great value to share with family, friends, colleagues, and associates to ensure the safety of lives and property. Thank you very much for your time. I have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Rose. Thank you for that announcement. Thank you. I just want to restate one of the points you raised during the announcement is the upcoming state events. River State OSH Summit is on Friday. When we say 10th, it sounds far. It's on Friday and it's happening in Port Harcourt. The venue is Golden Tulip Hotels, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. If you're in Port Harcourt, you're around River State, Bayelsa State, Delta State, Akwa Ibom, you can find your way to that place and be a part of that event. The event is also featuring a partnership with University of York, UK, for an award of professional diploma in crisis de-escalation. So it's one partnership that you wouldn't want to miss. You can book up virtually, you can also attend physically. Also on the 23rd, we'll be meeting in Lagos. Lagos is warming up. 23rd, we are having our summit in Lagos. If you're in Lagos on the 23rd of November, find your way to Alausa and be a part of that meeting. Thank you very much. At this point, I want to call on the Regional Administrator, Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Walaka, to take us through OSHAssociation activities and the way forward. Engineer, you have the floor, please. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we are actually progressing safely. We have the state chapters. The state chapters, I don't know if any of our state chairmen and chairpersons, they have any input. If they don't have any input, or they don't have any special state announcements or maybe consigns, maybe we can proceed to the next agenda, actually, which is the report from the National Conference team, which Dr. Leo will be addressing. So state chapters, or the secretaries, you have any input or any announcement or any consign?
Okay, I think I'll just call on the available state chapters here. In no order, I'll start with Dr. Chris, so that if he has anything to tell us, I'll proceed to the next state chapter chairman.
Okay,
Doctor,
go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Mary Jane. Good evening once again, professional colleagues. Rivers State OSH Summit 2023 is just around the corner. We have less than 7 days to go. It's coming up on Friday, 10th of November. You've heard the announcement. The venue is the Golden Tulip Hotel along Stadium Road in Port Harcourt. 10 a.m. is the time of the program. We're having lots of activities, panel discussion, doctoral award, and invest in the UK. They will also be available to train us on some other program. Our INSAP movement is still on in the lab, impact the children, the students on the need for safety, and then we're able to dish out as usual and first aid buses to those schools. We are, after the conference, we are taking it up again to some security agencies to see how we can reach out to them. We hope that by this time next year, we will have covered lots of ground, and the impact we have made in the state will begin to announce us, to the powers that be, so that we can influence, a lot of things happening in the state. This is what we have done so far in Rivers State, what we are also expecting to do by next week in the conference. So if you are around Rivers State, Bayelsa Delta, or Akwa Ibom, Imo State, is open. The Garden City is open to all of you. We hope to see you there on Friday as you come with us. Let us work as a team and be able to, preach this gospel of safety to every nooks and crannies of the country. Thank you so far. That's what we have from Rivers State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I want to call on the Lagos State Chairman, Engineer Laolu Oguntuyi. Engineer, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, my sister. Let me stand on the existing protocol. Lagos State is having a workshop and induction of new members on Thursday, 22 November 2023 at 10 a.m. The venue is Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Conference and Exhibition Center, number 10 Oluwopopo near Marua Garden at Alasa Ikeja. Everybody is invited for this conference. And then the topic is management of occupational safety and health in the digital era, the role of workplace compliance. And then 3 weeks ago, the ESCO member of Lagos State chapter went on a council visit on the newly appointed head of service, and he received us very well. We discussed a lot. Lagos State, for now, is one of the states that has included occupational safety OSH in the scheme of service. I'll be expecting those of us, even when you are even in Nigeria, to come to Lagos. Not like my friend, he didn't invite me. Dr. Chris, you didn't invite me. No, we talk about that one later. Thank you very much.
I invited, we're expecting you for that. Okay, I think I saw Dr. Kufre, but I can't find him now. The Secretary of Abia State, Kanayo Duke, are you here, please? If you have any brief remark or any brief report from Abia State, please, you have the floor. Kanayo Duke. Okay, Kanayo didn't hear me, or maybe his audio is not connected. Engineer, I think that's all we'll take for now. You can continue with the headquarter announcement, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And in addition to the vision of our able regional president is to ensure that we have 36 states chapters in this country. And we are still in that drive for our members, especially new members who are looking up to that. Please kindly indicate interest where you can commit to your little quarter within your states. The national already have WhatsApp groups of many of the members within those regions or those states. Please, let's see what we can do to spread this awareness across states. So let's get all those states, some of those information down to states, local governments, states, and ministries, agencies, organizations. It will help us to go further. In addition to this, also, we want to look at the Presidential Transition Committee led by Dr. Chris Mitchell. I think you may have, especially our fellows, they might have been receiving circulars and information. As our custom is every 2 years, there is always a rewind of capable fellows with capacity and interest to drive this great association within the region to the next level. So, Dr. Chris, do you have any input as the chairman appointed for this purpose from the regional president?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Engineer Walaka. Thank you. Dear fellows in the house, I want to believe you've received mails from HQ as regards the opening that we have. We will all agree that when our regional president came on board 3 years ago, he has actually delivered to his mandate. All he said during his manifesto, he has been able to deliver far beyond what he even, canvassed for. And we've actually enjoyed his reign that will be ending in a very few period to go now. And so if you think you are capable, you have what it takes to pilot this association to the next level, you believe you are passionate about safety, especially the fellows, those who, because we have sent out a circular to all the fellows. You have seen the expression of interest, the qualifications, requirements. If you know you meet it up and you want to be part of it, why not come on board? We expect you. That does not stop our president. He has been for there 3 years, and if he wants to, if he wish to also come back, why not? There's room for everybody. The free labor grant. The transition committee, we have started receiving applications from different individuals, and we hope that before the 30th of November, when we'll be having our national workshop, national summit, we'll be able to have concluded, from all the applications we've received, and we hope to install the new person by 30th of November. So that program, November 30th, is not what anybody wants to miss. We'll be unveiling who will be the new regional president. So we expect that fellows in the house, you have what it takes in your capacity. Please come ahead. The field is open. We'll be unveiling this week. The committee members in the transition, will be sending their names across to all, so you know that it's a very transparent, open this thing. OSHAssociation is not a one-man show. It's an open, transparent association that gives everybody a free level grant, to operate. And I hope we get this news, and I hope we see how we can bring ourselves on board to put things on there. Thank you very much. If you have challenge, you've not received the letter, let me know. If you have any issue regarding this particular opening, please feel free to also reach me, on my mobile. I'm just a text message or a WhatsApp call away from you. Feel free, reach out to me. Some guys have reached out to me to ask 1 or 2 questions about the opening, which I've also exposed to them. I've also explained to them, how it is. So feel free, and we hope that we will to come on board and present a clear opportunity for everybody to to play in the field. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our able chair transition committee, appointed by the regional president to drive that process. That have been the custom of the institution from inception in the Nigerian region. And I believe that we are moving forward, and people are watching. Nigerians have seen a lot of impasse is still creating. We're still creating that impact. We are still very optimistic that Nigeria one day will be a safer and a great place for everybody to dream to come and work safely. As the need arises also, we also have in the house, as regards administrative office updates, we have in the house a new appointment in a very big one, which have really also taken me to another level, which you get to know full time soon. But we have a new acting regional administrator appointed. The institution works by appointment. It's not a political grant, it's a humanitarian institution. So, and in the Western world, they work with that understanding very clearly. Once they work by empaths, and they work by your contributions and passions. And in Nigerian region, we want to maintain that pattern full time to make sure that the purpose of the institution is delivered to humanity. not as usual it is in some other institutions where you see Nigerian Bar Association, ICANN, ANAN, Nigerian Engineering Society. All those professions can elect as they want. But I think the association of this magnitude that have to do with life and death is not a political grant. It's a passionate and a vision-driven institution that impacts lives directly, life or death, straight away. So for that reason, I guess globally that have been the, even many other institutions from my own little research also have been delivering in that order. So as regards to the country regional administrator, by God's grace, I have been driving that passionately as a health and safety consultant and as someone, as a civil engineer who is very passionate, who have seen what is happening in the field. And I found that passion over the years, even when I've been working over how many years now I've been working with the Western world and also Americans who have given me so many opportunities to exercise my passion in this field. And it's still growing, So at the time have come, actually, a new country regional administrator have been appointed by the regional president. He's still acting in the person of Dr. Aliu Ibrahim. He is also going to say hi to me. He resumed office about 3 weeks ago. And I left the country about a week ago or thereabouts to events in the UK and some other series of meetings. And I'm also going to stay till the London Build Expo before I'll be marching down for the conference in 30th of November. So with these new developments, I think we are making a very good headway to be able to give opportunity to people who can help Nigerians achieve the mandate in the region. So at this point, we get to know more of Dr. Leo. He's a very passionate, driven individual, very dogged human being. With his little impact, he has been as a member, Abuja chapter. I think his appointment is actually in order. I supported it because he had been delivering results even before he was appointed without even knowing. So with this understanding, we need to support him. Every information required within his shores, I think, have been delivered to him, and he's have already kicked off action since all this while to restructure the association. And we believe the future is very great for the institution in the country because that is where the work is. The work of health and safety is in Africa. The Western world have passed all those levels. They have passed beyond awareness, compliance. Is now a culture, and the level of awareness there is much. So in Africa, we have so much problems, both human problems, mechanical problems, environmental problems. The problems are enormous. So I think we really need to put hands on desk to support our new acting regional administrator, subject to confirmation by the new teams that will be coming on board, the new regional presidents and all that, so that we can deliver mandate. Actually, on an international assignment at the moment, and I'm also very much behind the region because we have really sacrificed a lot to make sure that safety thrives in that country. And I believe there is hope for a new, safer Nigeria at this point. At this point, I want to call Dr. Aliu Ibrahim if he has some few information to deliver to the House as regards to the conference he's piloting at the moment. Dr. Aliu Ibrahim, over to you, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. On behalf of the regional president, His Royal Highness, Dr. Ambassador Olusegun Aderemi, FOSHA and KBC. First of all, I am profoundly delighted to address you today during this solemn occasion on my appointment as a new acting regional administrator, subsequently unveiled. To be honest indeed, this is a day of mixed feelings, and at times emotion could even run high. I say so because I am convinced that the person standing before you is a collective product, an embodiment of our resolve not only to anchor the esteemed organization in the already existing underpinning, but also to use it as a springboard to the next level, 2023 to 2024 and beyond. So on behalf of my regional and my boss, Engineer Dr. Walaka, Regional Administrator, kudos. And next, I think as a member, every member of this great association is a stakeholder and has a role to play to ensure that safety advocacy and awareness are spread and promoted at all workplaces and within our networks. To that end, may I call some lead in this way based on the lecture we have had. I summarize with it before I give you the feedback. It takes time and thoughtfulness consideration, but you see happier employee, more innovative, better productivity, zero incident, and less turnover. Do you need a creative, inclusive workplace? Of course, the answer of that is yes. So therefore, collaborate with OSHAssociation and attend association training always. That is our mandate. And all of us, all hands must be on deck to ensure that. So thank you very much. Now I can briefly go into the upcoming 13th International Safety Conference and awards. To the little knowledge that we are and the situation we are now in terms of progress is that from all indication, most agencies, MDAs, ministries and parastatals have started now receiving their full information regarding to this participation of this our international conference through letters and collaborations with them, and also answering their questions for more brief. Corporate companies as well, organizations, both private and public, have also started receiving theirs, that information, and at the same time, nominations are also going to pursue with it. Both fellows, members, students, full members and associates also on ground are to participate fully. And at the same time, letters of invitation has started getting to their own hands as well. Furthermore, discrepancies, for example, I just cited one discrepancy that we had last week. Discrepancies on remittance for states arising, as a result of promo, which is ending by the 10th of November 2023, will be taken, addressed, tackled, and final communique will be sent to all states to serve as solid base. So no need of panicking for that. Furthermore, internationally, we have big 5 construction in Kenya 2023. London built, as I was told, as well also heard from my boss, London built Expo 2023 in UK. All members are encouraged to attend and give the national office so that for more details, and indeed, we are in the top of the situation and progress is our own. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Aliu.
Thank you. The original president, you want to make any comment? Over to you, please, our boss.
My comment to you is that you should come back quick and let's work, okay? Then
okay,
the acting regional and country administrator, Dr. Aliu, you are welcome on board.
Thank you, sir.
We have watched you so well. We are very passionate with your integrity and commitment to this association. And we want to believe that you will exhibit same as work progresses. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
Your work is a very sensitive one, and it requires a lot of attention and a lot of energy. I pray that Almighty God grant you this strength and for you to maintain that confidence that we saw in you. God bless you. And
Thank
to
you,
all
sir.
our fellows and members, I want us to admit Dr. Aliu. Henceforth, he will be in charge of all correspondences and all administrative work as regards the region. Please, let's give him our cooperation. If there's anything that any member sees, hears, and feels about him, you are free to contact us and let us know, and let us act on it. Please be free with him, and I hope you'll be able to occupy the space, the post very well. And I want to employ Dr. Engineer Walaka as well to do proper handing over, and also not to leave him, to also be with him, to be able to stabilize him, because that office, like I said, is very sensitive. So I also need a lot of cooperation between you and all state sectors chairmen. We need more collaborations with the state sectors in terms of more membership, in terms of representation when we have conferences abroad. That is very, very paramount to me. So let's work solely on that, and let's demand what is needed from the government parastatals. Thank you, Engineer Walaka. Thank you, Dr. Aliu, and thank you, everybody. Our Lady.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Minister.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our regional president.
Dr. Michel, thank you as well. And all
Your Highness,
my
thank
friends,
you, sir.
all my friends that are the state chairman, I thank you all. For
Thank you,
those
sir.
that are here.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Highness, for your great leadership. In fact, to be honest to everybody, I've been enjoying my space. As a matter of fact, as just the regional president said, that office is very sensitive. It's a very sensitive office, and I really enjoyed it. And I know Dr. Liu will enjoy it more far better, because all eyes is on OSHAssociation as far as Nigeria is concerned on safety matters now. And I know that we can deliver at this point. And I know that our regional president is very much capable and able to deliver, because he has all it takes to do that. He has been doing it from the one he mounted office, and I know he's going to continue to support this great institution. Thank you so much. At this point, we want to also call on our members' input, suggestions, and questions. I think we are coming to the closure. So over to you, Mary Jane, our able facilitator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our safety minister. So you will officially ask us to withdraw regional administrator and address you properly as the only safety minister we have. Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Walaka.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're going to be taking brief, very, very brief, please, because of time. We're going to take just 3 input from members so that we can close. We need to try as much as possible to close by 7. Some persons need to drive back to their homes, maybe they're in their offices, from what I have information I've gathered. So please, just 3 persons will make inputs, questions, suggestions, just 3 persons. Others you can be dropping on the chat box, and we'll look at it and also respond to it as well before the end of the meeting. 3 persons, please raise your hands. I'll call on you, and we'll talk about it and bring this meeting to a close. Thank you. Okay, Engineer Suleiman Umar, you have the floor, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Jerry Jen. It has been a very successful day and a very interesting one, and an emotional one too. We have a new itinerary regional director, Mr. Aliu. We welcome you and we wish you the best of success, and we'll give you all our cooperation. I will also give you all the support you need. And I pray also that you will have the same drive, or more than the drive that Engineer Walaka had, because he's the one who brought us in. Just 5-minute discussion with him. I've been in safety for years, and I've visited most of the states of the Federation, delivering lectures on safety for Rakot, Tinubu, Orisha, Kano, Maiduguri. But 5-minute discussion with him, he was the one who brought me into OSHA. And I hope that you will have the same drive to get people who join us to do this our humanitarian cause. So I wish you well. And Dr. Walaka, our safety minister, I wish you well. And I thank you very much for your drive and your drive in the OSHA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Suleiman Umar. Thank you for that input. Do we have any other person that wants to make a contribution, ask a question, or make a suggestion?
Yes, Engineer David is here. Engineer David Ofene is here.
Please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is. Hello, my name is Engineer David Oklobia Ofene. Engineer Walaka Doctor is a mentor to me. He brought me into the OSHAssociation years back. I was the person championing the Enugu area for almost years too. I was equally appointed as a trainer, partnering with OSHA. And he's a very good person to be with, and he's a good listener and a great administrator. With him, we were all sharing the ideas of how to evangelize safety to every nook and cranny of our company, in the electricity distribution company and other sector. The Dr. Aliu, we welcome you back. I assure you we are going to support you as much as you need our presence in your new office. And without safety, we are nothing in anywhere we are. Engineer Walaka, wherever you go, we are going to be with you, and we'll pray for you that OSHA will stand tall in the hands of you who started it, and Engineer Liu will nurture it to a greater height. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. May God bless you. Engineer David.
Thank you so much, Engineer David. Thank you so much. I'll have so many persons lifting their hands, but we'll just take one last person, and that is Kingsley Okofon Ibok. You have the floor, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kingsley Okon. My question is, for those of us that have some pending movement to evangelize health and safety in some local government, like for example, I had some discussion with Dr. Emmanuel, and do we keep on with that correspondence, that relationship with him, or it's going to be transferred to Dr. Aliyu, the new regional administrator?
Yes, let me help here. Can I help, Mary Jane?
Go ahead, sir. It was actually meant for you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. You have to know that I'm a Nigerian. I'm not living in Nigeria. I'm still here as a member, but actually, from all indication, I'm also having some international assignments, and that is why the regional president admitted that I need to actually do the needful, which we have been looking for capable hands to do that over the years. But I think the hour has come for the ego to take off. And that is what I have just occupied. So, because before now, if I travel for international trips, nothing much happens in the country. The institution have grown very big to be able to do the needful, and also no excuses, because we are an institution of no excuses. So for that reason, even if I'm not around 1 month twice as it is now, the office have to function and deliver the mandate to Nigerians. So at this point, every correspondence, including my official numbers, have been already handed over to the office, and every other correspondence also gradually handing over everything about the institution as far as that office is concerned, including connections. And the president also said earlier, I'm still very much available, supporting the region, and all that. If you remember too, I have so many responsibility from the association also in the other African countries. And I think I'll be doing justice to so many things. So as my own country is no-go area, we have to make Nigeria work. We have to make Nigeria work. So every correspondence, please, is all available to the office, whether phone number, whether email, everything is there for you to continue the correspondence with the numbers you have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think our fellows, some of our fellows that are here, I've seen Dr. Professor Comfort. Please allow them. Maybe one minute. Okay. Let them talk, please.
Okay, 1 minute. Duke, I'll start with Duke. Your hand has been up since. Kanayo, please, you have the floor. Kanayo, can you hear us? You have the floor, please. Okay,
good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Regional President KBSC himself. Good evening, our boss, who actually brought all of us in, Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Walaka, and to the brand new regional administrator. Good evening, and to all the fellows. I want to express my profound happiness that OSHA is evolving in a way that we all are proud of it. And I want to, on behalf of the entire Abia State chapter members, pledge our commitment to working with the new regional administrator to make sure that things continue to move the way it has always been moving under the administration of Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Walaka. And also to say that our event that is coming up, we are going to need all the support that we can get, both from the regional and the surrounding states like River State, to make it a very successful and memorable one. Thank you so much, everybody, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, Madam Comfort, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mary Jane. The regional president, sir. I want to say thank you for all that you've been doing for OSHA. Engineer Walaka is going to be an emotional moment, but since you are still with us, I think you need to transfer the energy to Aliu so that he will have 2 times. I want to congratulate you for what you have done for OSHA, for the energy you've put in most of the programs we've been having. And I want to wish Engineer Aliu well. Aliu, you have done, I've read a little bit on your CV and I've been following up, and I know that you are going to fit into the shoe of Engineer Walaka. OSHA is a big family, and we, wherever we are, on behalf of Akwa Ibom State Chapter, I know my chairman, I think, is not here now. I want to say congratulations to all of you for a job well done. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Okay, Ibere David, 1 minute, please. Okay, Abayomi Dixon, you have 1 minute, sir. Abayomi Dixon, can you hear us, sir? If you can, you have 1 minute to make your suggestion or input, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I say good evening to everyone. In fact, the news I heard this evening, I felt spiritually weak because my regional president, my regional administrator, all of them, they've been doing a wonderful work in the country and for the association worldwide. But notwithstanding, they still need to move ahead.
in their respective careers. And I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the new appointed regional coordinator, that God will give you the seal. God will increase your seal for the association, and God will give you the strength to carry on perfectly. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. At this point, I want to appreciate everyone that has made it to today's meeting. It has been a very interactive one. Thank you. Okay, I want to call on Engineer Dr. Walaka for a brief remark, please, before we close. Engineer, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, it's just a brief input. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my great leaders. I'm still with you people because we must make Nigeria a safer and a healthy place to work and to live. It's a matter of continuous awareness and advocacy, as we have keep saying it, and we have to maintain the tempo. And at this point, I want to also inform you that during our in-house meeting in Nigeria, Dr. Liu also have a new administrative team. He have already built up. He has a new order of office. In fact, the way I saw it is going to be very amazing. He has Mr. Harrison as his chief of staff to the acting regional administrator in Nigerian region. So, Mr. Harrison, can you say hi to the house in 1 minute?
Chief of Staff, are you here, sir?
So it's like his network is bad. So he's very, very articulated to be supporting. He's one of the oldest staff. You know, in the ministry, they have permanent secretaries, and he's based on the highest, the oldest staff who is more experienced. So I think why Dr. Liu did that, because Mr. Harrison, in fact, even last 2 years, he received an award during one of the conferences as one of the oldest staff in the Nigerian region of the institution. So he has been appointed as the chief of staff to the acting regional administrator, and he's very knowledgeable in the terrain and in the operation of the office. So he will also be working closely with the team, leading as a chief of staff administration with the new regional administrator. And from the way I've seen things over some weeks now, everything is in line. And as you all said, they are going to do far more better. And with my international assignments, I can assure Nigeria that we are going to bring in a lot of intervention funds in grants to Nigerian region, especially if to Africa, first Nigerian region, to make sure that we have enough millions of pounds to be able to do a lot of intervention in Africa. Those fundings are there. And from all indication, in no time, we are going to do a whole lot, not just depending on government, but getting an international support that to get these safety solutions on our doorsteps and for the benefit of Nigerians. At this point, we want to thank everybody, and I want to appreciate everyone. I will still be in the conference. We can be able to do more, and I appreciate everyone for your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer. Thank you very much. I also want to appreciate everybody that's attended this meeting. It's always a pleasure to anchor this meeting with you and discuss with you. I look forward to it every month. Thank you very much. We know this is a platform where we learn. We don't just learn, but we learn and earn certificate every month. And so many of you have dropped questions regarding the training slides. Yes, they will be sent to your respective emails that you have filled in that registration link. So ensure you register for this event so that you will get your certificate and the training materials for today. It will be very helpful. Thank you very much, our regional president. Thank you very much, our safety minister. Thank you very much, our regional administrator, Dr. Liu. It's a pleasure working with you. We've been working with you from a distance. I'm sure very soon we'll work closely. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, all our state chairmen that are present, all state secretaries, everybody, our fellows, our members. You all made this meeting today a success. Without you, we wouldn't have been here. Thank you for staying this long with us, and thank you for the fruitful deliberations. At this point, I would want somebody to move a motion for adjournment of this meeting, and another person second it, so that we can bring the meeting to a close. Thank you.
I, Engineer Ahmed A.S.Y. Kutigi, move a motion for the adjournment of this meeting
I, about
to next month.
hereby seconded it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can all unmute yourselves, put on your videos and say bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Even if I'm unable to speak. Bye. Thank you. Congratulations.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, doctor.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, our regional president. We thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.